Hola estudiantes, hoy es jueves el día 15 de junio y estamos terminando el curso. That's right, we're on the last stretch, and this is just a reminder that you've got 3 conversation visits. There's still time to go if you haven't gone, but watch out, there are only a couple of days left, so you gotta get in there. Load your first one here, your second one here, and your third one here. These are just the summaries of your visits in Spanish for full credit. Also, you're working on the blog de discusión número 2, Cuenta lo que pasó. So, using adiós mamá as a point of departure, you're talking about some incident that happened to you or someone you know, or you're making one up. You're writing completely in Spanish using verbs in the preterite and the imperfect to tell what happened. And your original post is due tomorrow by midnight. And then you've got a couple of more days until Sunday night at midnight to respond to 2 of your peers. So remember, you've got to address this question. ¿Has sido alguna vez víctima de un crimen o fraude? Como el que viste en el video Adiós Mamá? Explica. Cuenta lo que pasó. So you need to address this, and you need to include an image. And again, don't forget that you have to include responses to 2 of your peers by Sunday at midnight. We're also coming to the end of Lección 4, and we've got the exam for tomorrow. It's due by midnight on the 16th, and as always, you have an hour to do it. It's available right now, and let's take a look at it. So let's do a quick orientation. So here, no pertenece. Choose the one that doesn't belong. No pertenece, it doesn't belong. So you look at these words, you look for a relationship, and the one that doesn't fit is the one that you want to choose. So, agotado, sano, resfriado, mareado. So this chapter has to do with your health and your well-being. So of all these different words, the one that doesn't go is sano, which means healthy. All the other ones refer to a state of being ill. Agotado, exhausted, wiped out, resfriado, I've got a cold, or mareado, I'm dizzy. All right? So that's the idea with number 1. And otro resfriado, oh no, not another cold. Completa el texto con la palabra adecuada de la lista. So the advantage you have here with this section too that has to do with vocabulary is that you've got a drop down. Right, so it's always a good idea, even before you see the drop down, to think about what you choose. You can save a lot of time that way. Hoy me desperté con mucha. So consider form as well as meaning. So notice how you've got a context clue. Whatever you choose, it's got to be feminine and singular. Con mucha. Mucha something. So you can toss out, eliminate anything that's not feminine and that's not singular. Right? So there are only a few candidates, and you have to go with meaning too. So the one you want is fiebre. This morning I woke up with a lot of fever because I've got another cold. So you tick these off one by one. I think you only use each one only one time. So that's another thing you can keep track of to save time as you go down the list. 3. ¿Qué necesitan? What do y'all need? Indica que necesita cada una de estas personas, which each of these person needs in this situation, and use each option only one time. Okay, makes sense. Número 1, me caí y me rompí la pierna. Okay, I fell and I broke my leg. Okay, well, hey buddy, you need, necesitas tú, you need. ¿Hacer una dieta? No. ¿Vacunarte? No. Ir a la sala de emergencias. That's what you need to do. You need to go to the emergency room. So that's the idea. 4. Completa las oraciones con la forma adecuada del presente del subjuntivo. So you're using the present of the subjunctive in all these cases. So you don't have to choose between indicative and subjunctive. They're telling you, use the subjunctive, and they're giving you the verbs. Entender, saber, oír, ir, sentir. Just be careful that you identify the appropriate subject in the dependent clause. So they start out, hoy volveré a explicarle a la abuela cómo tomar el medicamento. So today, I'm going to explain to my granny again how to take her medicine. Ojalá, that's the trigger for subjunctive, que esta vez lo bien, que lo entienda bien. So you're still talking about your granny, right? So that's the referent. So hopefully she'll understand this time how to take it. So your verb is entender, and you're conjugating it for la abuela, because that's who you're talking about in this case. Entonces, ojalá que esta vez lo entienda bien. Oraciones, here you're choosing the infinitive, el indicativo, indicative, or the subjunctive. So they give you a drop down, and so you choose between these three. So be careful of your word order, be careful of your syntax, because sometimes only the infinitive is going to be possible. So, es mejor que, and no matter what else comes down the pike, you know that it's got to be a subjunctive, because you're making a statement that is expressing your opinion. It's better that, right? And the best way to go is dejes de fumar ya mismo. It's better that you quit smoking right now. There's no guarantee you're going to do it. That's why it's subjunctive. And that's what I'm trying to get you to do. So it's the only one that works of these three possibilities. Dejar, no, it's not the syntactic frame for the infinitive. Can't use the indicative because that describes a situation that is going on right now that is true, that matches reality. But this is what I want you to do. I'm trying to influence your behavior, and therefore we need the subjunctive, which is, of course, indicated with that little opposite vowel. Instead of an a, dejar, dejas, it's e, dejes. And that is the signal, that's the marker of subjunctive in this case. 6. A moverse, move it, move it, move it. Completa el texto con mandatos formales. So here they're saying use formal mandates. What? Use formal commands. So some of you had noticed that mandatos is a cognate with English, mandate, but the meaning is a little bit different. But when you see mandatos, they mean commands, and these are formal commands. So you're going with either usted, singular, or ustedes, plural, in all these cases. Pasa muchas horas frente a la computadora, tiene dolor de espalda. This is like an ad you'd hear on the TV or on the radio, and they say, oh, do you spend a lot of time in front of the computer? Do you have backaches? If this is your situation, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Si es así, no se quede sentado todo el día. So you have to conjugate this one, and they're saying don't remain seated all day in your big stuffed chair, right? So you want to take breaks, and get up and stretch. So that's the, you see, these are all formal commands. And again, it looks like this is the type of ad, so they're addressing you, usted, but in the formal because they don't know you. Opiniones contrarias, 7. Tu amiga y tú piensan de forma distinta. You and your friend think in ways quite different from one another. You have different opinions. And you want to contradict what your friend, you want to contradict your friend in all these cases following this model. So the model gives you, vete a la cama temprano, go to bed early. And so you want to give the opposite. You want to go, no. Don't go to bed early, right? No te vayas a la cama temprano. So they're giving you one command, vete, but now you're giving it the opposite, the negative version, right? If they were to give you the negative version, you'd want to give the positive version. So let's try a couple of these. 1, lávate las manos con mucho jabón. Lávate las manos con mucho jabón. And the opposite would be, because it's negative, and this is a to command, so in this case, the pronoun, reflexive pronoun, goes before the command, and you would say, no te laves las manos con mucho jabón. No tomes aspirinas para el dolor de cabeza. So this is negative. You want to make it positive. So don't take aspirins for your headache. And then you're giving the opposite. You're saying, yeah. Take aspirins for your headache. Toma aspirinas para el dolor de cabeza. So be careful. And 8, finalmente, el trabajo y el estrés. So you want to use por or para according to the context. Vale. Creo que es suficiente por ahora. Pues dense cuenta que tenemos pocos días ya. Sean fuertes. Si necesitan algo, se ponen en contacto conmigo. Si no, buena suerte con todo y estaremos en contacto muy pronto. Hasta luego.